Hi all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, hello, come in, welcome. My name's Eliza and I make content every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. all about disability awareness, LGBTQ+ positivity and lifestyle things. So come in, welcome. And today we're going to be reacting to some straw memes. So if you're interested, then stick around. So a few weeks ago now, days ago, about a week ago, I made a video about straws and the fact that some disabled people need to use single-use plastic straws. I am one of those people. Now, I don't need to use single-use plastic straws all the time, but I have had to use them in the past when I'm in a major flare, if I'm feeling very, very unwell, or if I've just had an operation. That is because I'm allergic to lots of the single-use plastic straws that are like compostable, and also there's quite a lot of practical reasons about why compostable straws are not ideal. Also have sensory issues and often I'll be lying down, so I need straws that will bend and move. If you are interested in why some disabled people need to use single-use plastic straws, I will leave Jessica's video down below. Jessica Calgreen-Fozard did a video all about the different straws and why some disabled people need them. I'm not going to recreate that video because it's a video that's already out there. It's very, very clear and accessible content, and she basically goes through every single option and why not every single option is accessible to many different people. But even though I was often leaving links in the video and pointing people to the link, lots of people were still kind of giving me advice that wasn't asked for and still were telling me that I was killing the environment because of the fact that some disabled people need to use single-use plastic straws. And this is something that really needs to stop. It's really not okay. The main thing is to focus on yourself and your environmental well-being and footprint or whatever, and to not be blaming other people who need to use single-use plastic straws to live. And the truth is, straws are like such a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of plastic in the ocean when most companies are to blame for our global warming and our greenhouse gases. Blaming a small minority who need something to live is not really ideal. And to be honest, in my opinion, the whole straw thing is just a massive red herring to divert people's attention from the real issue in terms of like big corporations causing the problem and blaming vulnerable people, because unfortunately vulnerable people and minorities are easy to blame and easy to scapegoat, to be honest. So I searched through the internet after having this absolute shit show in my comment section. I had 900 comments of people telling me that I was wrong and I was just doing it for attention. I had somebody message me, tell me that I shouldn't need to use straws because I have a lip piercing. Somebody else messaging me saying that they needed to pass me as disabled enough to use a straw. If a disabled person is saying that they need something, then listen to them and respond to it. Most disabled people have done research for themselves and are looking for ways to be reusable and sustainable, and of course we all need to do our bit and all need to be as sustainable as possible, but also we need to protect our energy, our health, etc. when doing so, and not also put all the blame on the individual. So I started searching the internet for some memes about straws, and there are actually quite a few of them, so I was very pleased with that, and I thought that we could react to them today, so let's go. Okay, are you ready? Sorry if you can hear my neighbours in the background, they're making noise. And sorry if my throat sounds a bit weird. I'm currently being tested for COVID. I got tested this morning, so I'm waiting for the results to come back. Fingers crossed they're negative. I'm not feeling great. I'm okay, I'm safe, everything's fine. My joints are just hurting quite a bit and my throat's a bit funny. So I'm definitely just not feeling 100% and my chest just feels a bit tight. So yeah, and I will update you on Instagram when I get the results. If you do want to follow me on there, it's @disabled_Eliza, and that's where I do loads of polls, etc. And where I post my reels, and also on TikTok as well. So let's go, the first one. Bland plastic straws, let disabled people live their lives. The man with like a tissue on his head. Oh my god, the amount of times that people were like, well, we'll both ban straws, and disabled people who need to use single-use straws can just, I don't know, get on with it. I had that comment so many times, and some people even said things like disabled people should pass away for the greater good. Absolutely disgusting. Honestly, I don't know where these people get it. I think they're just bored, and so they just post horrible things online for attention. That's the only thing I can assume. But yeah, let disabled people live their lives. Can we press that button, please? Because the truth is, the straw ban has made life less accessible for many disabled people. And you might think like, oh, just bring your own. But the thing is, if you forget your straw, or you have memory issues, or you don't pack your own bags, for example, it's not always possible to just bring your own. And things like masks, if you forget a mask, shops will give you masks, which also are not particularly environmentally friendly, but it's a necessity, and for many people straws are literally a necessity and are needed for many people, so it's not always possible. So please, can we just let disabled people live their lives? It's not really like a a sweating moment of confusion. It's just, the ideal thing is to just let disabled people, you know, live as accessibility and accessible as possible. Moving on to the next one, the climate, planning plastic straws, rainforest deconstruction, coral reefs dying, constant fires. Honestly, it's just a cover up. Banning plastic straws is literally just a cover up for everything else that big corporations are doing, and it's also just a way to blame the consumer. Yeah, as I say, I think it's like 0.25% of plastic in the ocean is from straws, and like 50% in certain areas are from fishing, and then like microplastics in clothing and things like that. And these are all things that obviously need to be tackled, but until there is an actual option that works for disabled people, we need to stop blaming disabled people for what they need as an access right. And yeah, it's literally just being used to cover up what's actually going on. And another thing, and other disabled people, please do let me know in the comments how you feel about this, but lots of people were giving me like advice about straws that could work for me, and I get that it was coming from a good place and a place of like, you know, we can save the environment together, blah blah blah, but the truth is it kind of just left me feeling a little bit used, because people would comment and say, well, try silicone, despite the fact that silicone is discussed in the video. People would say try silicone, and I would reply and say, you know, oh, that's not accessible for me, and they would say, well, it is, blah blah blah, and then go into this spiel about how it was. And the situation that seemed to occur was that able-bodied people and non-disabled people who were giving me these kind of instructions and advice were left feeling good about themselves because they've educated a disabled person on an issue that they think the person doesn't have education on, and they're also saving the environment in the process. But me, a disabled person, was left feeling sad and guilty about the fact that I needed things. So it kind of felt a little bit like they were using my emotions a little bit, and obviously I don't think that people were doing that intentionally at all, but it was just a bit of a weird situation to be in, that the disabled person was kind of left feeling sad and guilty, but the able-bodied person, non-disabled person, was left feeling happy and empowered. So it was a bit of a weird, I don't know, dynamic, and it was quite difficult for me to kind of hold my ground in those situations. Next one, you killed a man. I bought some plastic straws. Honestly, I think this is how people view disabled people who need to use single-use plastic straws. The amount of people who, like, mainly were vegans, obviously not all vegans, I'm actually plant-based myself, I definitely don't think this about all vegans, but lots of the people who were commenting this were like militant vegans, had it in their bio, like, I'm a vegan, 100% plant-based, blah 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 blah, and then were telling me that I was a horrible person in ruining the environment because of what I needed to survive. And I honestly think that that particular person would place me in the same category as this. The way that they were talking, they were just being so aggressive and horrible towards me, and it's not okay. Please don't be horrible towards disabled people who need to use single-use plastic straws, because some of us need it to live. It's not a want. It's not like we're like, oh, I really want to, you know, ruin a turtle's life today. It's like, I just want to have a drink, and it's really that simple, yet it's treated as if we're doing it to ruin the environment and ruin what people are doing and ruin the world, etc. And the fact that one person is going to be responsible for ruining the world, which is not true. As I say, corporations are a big issue, but I kind of, yeah, had that comment a lot, and other disabled people are probably also getting these comments for literally existing, and it's not okay. Next one. Hey kid, wanna buy some straws? Got the bendy ones with stripes, my man. Honestly, this is what it feels like at the moment when you're trying to buy straws. They do sell them in my local corner shop, but I can't seem to find them anywhere else, only really expensive ones. And there were also other disabled people who were saying the same thing, that they couldn't also access straws and they needed them. So yeah, we do need to make sure that it is still accessible for disabled people. I know that there was some talk about them going on prescription, but is that accessible? And also you may be thinking like, well, why doesn't a disabled person just ask when they go to a restaurant? And obviously this would be a great idea. Unfortunately, as many of us have experienced, people often don't believe us for what we need if we don't typically look disabled or we're not disabled enough. It also runs the risk of a disabled person being questioned and having to prove that they're disabled to be able to access things, and so that can be really, really difficult. And lots of people are kind of so focused on the risk of the abuse of a system rather than protecting those who need that system. And we see that a lot with systems that are put in place with disabled people, that people are so focused on the idea that it may be abused that focusing on that idea so much actually harms the community. Next one, legal government officials, ableist straw bans. This is environmentalism. Honestly, if your environmentalism doesn't include disabled people, it is literally harmful, not helpful. And also, if you're like so disgusted by a disabled person drinking from a straw and not big corporations causing loads of global warming issues, maybe it's the fact that you're ableist and not the straw that you're having a complete like, oh, I really hate that towards. Maybe you're just ableist. And this is true. The government again is just using it to cover up what's really going on, and it's not okay. Right, moving on to the next one. Let's ban straws. Row. This is worthless. Yes, it's literally pointless. It is literally pointless. It doesn't do anything. It's not going to help in the long run, and it's not okay. Of course, we all need to be looking for alternatives if we can, but the truth is the straw ban is pointless and worthless if we do nothing else. And what else are we doing at the moment? Who knows? It's kind of this idea as well with the fact that everybody can now work from home, but a few years ago when disabled people were requesting that, we were just told it was never possible, yet when non-disabled people needed it, it was sorted out straight away. And in my opinion, if something happened where there was a reason why non-disabled people needed to use straws, we would sort that out overnight and plastic straws would come back into play. But because it's affecting disabled people, people don't listen and just don't really care. And it's kind of frustrating. Moving on to the next one. People are ignoring this as they are this pollution, oil spills, bombs, but ban plastic straws because they're bad for the environment. Honestly, I can't. It's just so frustrating. You can like see how worn down I am because of how much energy has been used on people telling me that I need to do something that isn't accessible for me, and then also demanding education from me when I was accessing links, etc. And it's just tiring. And yeah, as I say, some disabled people need to use single-use plastic straws, and that's okay. And please respect that, and don't be horrible to disabled people who need that. And listen to us about what we need. And if you're disabled, please do let me know your thoughts down below. It's been a bit of a tiring week for me, and kind of not put me off, but kind of made me feel a bit sad about my content creation, because obviously most of my content creation is focused around trying to be positive, and when you get lots of backlash from non-disabled people, it can be tiring and can feel a little bit pointless and worthless a bit. And I know that that's just my intrusive thoughts and me feeling worn down from the situation I was put in, but sometimes it can feel like that. And if you're also a content creator and feeling like that, that's okay. It's normal to feel like this. Tomorrow is a new day, and maybe I just won't post about straws anymore on Reels. Who knows? Anyway, if you did like this video, let me know your thoughts down below. And if you do want to keep up to date with me and see my Reels, then follow me at Disabled Eliza across all social medias. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. It's free and you get to see more of me. Have a good week. Look after all of you at the moment. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!